All right, man. So here we are, and this week we got a total change of scenery as we are outside, just chilling back here on my back porch, just enjoying one of these beautiful Chicago summer days. We only get these for about 2 weeks, man, so you really gotta soak them up. But let's go ahead, let's get right into it. Let's do what we always do on these weekly logs. Let's recap, let's look forward, and then let me give you guys a tip that you guys can apply. So first of all, last week. So first of all, let's talk about where I'm at right now. Energy, very low. Calories, even lower. But man, I gotta tell you guys, my spirits could not possibly be higher. And there's no real good reason for that whatsoever. So man, you gotta praise Jesus for this one, because this is day number 4. It's actually Tuesday of week 12, so I'm kind of midway through. It is day number 4 of 4 consecutive pretty low days. So Saturday was kind of in the middle as my carbs were a little bit over 100. But ever since then, man, I've just been scraping the bottom of the barrel as I'm really trying to push the envelope on my progress, for these last few weeks. Because when this week started, I was only 4 weeks out. And so spirits are actually pretty high. I'm at the very end. And as I kind of foreshadowed in week number 1, I said, man, all the work that needs to be done is in the middle. Once I get to those last 3-4 weeks, I'll be able to coast because I'll know that I'm close to the end. Well, I got to be real with you guys, man. Last week, I was not feeling that. I was not feeling that at all. I was like, yeah, I'm near the end, but I feel like rubbish. But man, I've gotten a huge jolt of motivation, and it's not really because of my body weight necessarily, because I'll get into that here in a second. But I'm just feeling really, really good, man. So I'm really trying to soak that up, really just trying to ride that wave for as long as it might last. So last week I started the week at 174.8, and as I kind of talked about in last week's video, I knew because of the bacon chicken pasta day, because I was just kind of snacking a little bit too much, that the beginning of last week was going to be challenging. And that's exactly what happened. My body weight just kept fighting me. It kept battling against me. And so I started the week at 174.8, and it actually looked like I wasn't going to make any progress for the week whatsoever. It actually looked like I was going to have a 0 week, a flat week. But I got bailed out with a little loss. I went all the way down. That's definitely not true. I went down to 174.2. So I lost just a little over half a pound, which is pretty good given the circumstances. I will absolutely take it. I'm very, very happy with that. My numbers actually came in right about where I wanted them to be, and so I was pretty happy with that. Protein, carbs, and fat pretty much came in line. I'll obviously post those on the screen. I don't remember what they are right off the top of my head, but pretty happy with last week. Only half a pound, which sets me back a little bit, but now I've got a plan moving forward. So what's my plan moving forward? My plan moving forward is this. So I'm 174.2. I want to be 168 on the day of the show. And for me, 168.8 and 168 are the same. For me, for my record keeping, that will be a 168 print. I will have accomplished my goal. And man, I always tell you guys, you think the first 5 pounds is exciting to lose. Wait till you lose that last 5. That will completely change how you look. And so that's exactly where I'm at right now. I'm looking to go from 174.2 to 168.8. That's 5.5 pounds. I got 4 weeks to do it. And so I've got a plan of attack for how I'm going to do this. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have to trim my numbers. I'm probably going to have to take my carbs this week down to maybe around 100, I would say, on average. But what I'm doing, and this is why these first 4 days of this week have been challenging, is each week I'm going to come out of the chutes with low days. I'm going to come out of the chutes with medium days. Because I'm basically going to do everything that I can to ensure that I hit about 1.5 pounds or maybe 1.4 pounds for that week before I look to replenish my glycogen, before I look to take my carbs higher and kind of restore my energy, if you will, and eat a little bit more and ingest a few more carbs. And so that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. I think I've got a good shot in the morning for a 172 print. We'll have to just kind of see how it goes. But that's my strategy moving forward. The first half of each week is going to be all business. It's where you just kind of button it up and you get to work, man. so far, so good for this week. So I'm feeling pretty good. From a training standpoint, my training has been going pretty well. Nothing too big to report there other than the fact that I had to make the difficult decision a couple of days ago to stop deadlifting. So I'm not going to be deadlifting for the next 4 weeks. My right hamstring has just been in really, really bad shape, and I've lasted this long, and I'm a bit surprised I've lasted this long with my deadlifts. And so now it gets to the point where I could keep deadlifting, but the risk that I really injure myself and now I can't compete at all, or I can't train my legs anymore, or I can't train my hamstrings anymore, becomes very, very real. And so you got to be smart, man. Again, I'm going to call, what is this, my 19th audible? This whole training cycle. I mean, this is part of how it works. You make adjustments. You kind of see how your body responds, and then you've got to make adjustments. And so I'm getting rid of deadlifts. I am still able to squat twice a week, so that's a good thing. But no more deadlifts until after the show. So that brings me to my tip for you guys this week. And here it is. Volume matching. So if you guys have been following me the entire way, if you guys have been following kind of how I've structured my training and kind of the changes that I've made, you know that I started training pretty heavy. I kept with fairly heavy weights in a pretty low to moderate rep range. I was doing a lot of sets still in like the 5 to 6 rep range at the very beginning, and now I've transitioned to where I don't really do anything under 8. Really, I don't do too many sets under 10 in terms of the reps per set. But I still want to try to progressively overload, or at least keep my volume constant, or at least keep my volume the same if my system can hold out, if my system can handle it. And so what I try to do is I try to match my volume with a different rep scheme. And so the way that basically works is it's pretty simple. What you do is, so let's say you're squatting 300 pounds for 5 reps, right? So that'd be 1,500 pounds per set. If you do 3 sets, that's 4,500 pounds. But then let's say you switch into like an 8 rep scheme. So now what you're looking at is, let's say you can do 200 pounds at 8 reps. Now if you do 1 set of 8 at 200 pounds, that's 1,600 pounds, right? So now if you only do 3 sets of 8 at 200 pounds, that's 4,800 pounds. That's actually more volume that you're pushing through your system than what you were doing with 3 sets of 5 at 300. And so when you keep track of your total volume across different rep schemes, the different rep schemes themselves are going to cause a different stimulus in your muscle. Right? I kind of talked about this a little bit last week. I didn't get into too much detail because it wasn't really the focus of the video, and it's not really the focus of this week either. But when you get into different fiber types, different rep ranges stimulate different fiber types, and we'll have a different training adaptation, if you will. But still, you want to be mindful of your total volume. At least I like to be mindful of my total volume, so I kind of have an idea just how much work I'm asking my system to do and wanting to progressively overload from one week to the next. So that's pretty much it, man. I guess, one more thing I do want to mention this upcoming week, or last week. So last week, another change that I made was my numbers came in nutritionally where I wanted them to be, but from a cardio standpoint, I did add that extra 60-minute walk, so I was up to 5 60-minute walks. This week, I'm not really going to change my intervals too much. I did get up to 12, 12, and 12 last week. I'm probably going to hold steady there this week because that's pretty hard on my system. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go 6 sessions of 6 60-minute walks for this week, and I've added a few minutes to my morning step meal time as kind of like a warm-up, but kind of like a way to sneakily add a little more steady state, man, to try to burn off just a few extra calories. So that's it, man. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to relax. And so, hey, as always, man, like, share, subscribe. I would really, really appreciate that. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm at jschultzf3. If you guys have any questions, you can always tweet me, hit me on Instagram. You can email me, jschultzf3@gmail.com. I always love to talk training. And hey, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, I just started doing that too. So reach out to me, man, and we'll figure something out. So until next time, man, I will see you guys for week 13, and God bless.